We are back with another season of DRL ACC Racing. We are here on season 8. Excited to be here. Want to take a quick second before we start to thank our Patreon subscribers. Without you, we could not be doing this. My name is Dan Delatorre, and I'm going to be bringing you all the action this season. I cannot wait. We have an action-packed season, and I cannot wait for it. Gav, thank you for the subscription. We appreciate it out here. We got a great schedule this season. We're starting off tonight in Zandvoort, which should be very exciting. We got some Cooper bots here already. This is an exciting opening night. I cannot believe it. We are here. We are having a few technical difficulties on stream. We're going to try to work through as we go. We have something new this season. We have expanded from 3 classes to 4 classes. Taking a quick look at our top tier or our platinum class. This is not right. As I said, we're having a few issues here. We're just going to go ahead and dive in because we are running behind here and the qualifying has already started. Cooper Bots, you are here. You do got Cooper Atherton to cheer for, who will be looking to claim another title here in the DRL. We are following along right now with Will Sanchez. As you see, next to the driver's names, we have a letter. We have S for the silver tier. We have B for the bronze tier, G for the gold tier, and P for the platinum tier. 4 tiers this season. As I said, we are having some technical difficulties. Let me know if you guys can hear the game audio at all. Is it too loud or is it okay? All right, give me a second to play with this, guys. Sorry about that. All right, is this any better right now, or is it still echoing? It's still echoing. All right, hold on. Yeah, you're telling me, Gav. Is this any better? All right. We're getting there slowly but surely. But it does. Okay. Are we getting game audio also or no? All right. Back to the drawing board. All right, I'm not sure what's going on with the game audio here, but we are going to just roll into qualifying and keep watching this. Yeah, ACC TV is not working. We got a few things not working right now, but we will do our best. All right, so let's take a look at where the drivers are as they have their last 30 seconds of our first two divisions that are qualifying. Arturas Hermanis is leading the silver division with a 135.6. He is followed by Juan Lopez, Mari in the gold division. Mari's leading the gold division, a second behind Hermanis, and we have Tarugo, who Mari should not be out there. Tarugo's in the bronze division. Cooper's in the silver division. Charles, thank you for the follow. We appreciate it. All right, so let's run through this. We got Hermanis in the silver division, Lopez in the silver division. We have Cooper, Bradley Cooper, Tyler Morgan, and Iqbal Kurniawan. That is our silver standing. Then we're going to go into our bronze standings. We got Tarugo, who's out there leading the bronze division, followed by John Ballant. Then Creamy Von Cream, the creamiest of them all, followed by Mr. Bandit. Now we're going to have our platinum and gold drivers go out. Mari did go out ahead of time. This is our first session. We got a lot of new drivers this season, so it's going to take us a little bit to go through this. The way this is supposed to work is we are supposed to have the bronze and the silver go out for the first 10 minutes and the gold and the platinum come out from there. So let's ride along with one of our gold or platinum drivers. And we got a lot of Cooper bots in here, so let's go with Cooper Atherton and follow along with him for a little bit. I hope everyone is doing great tonight as we work through a little bit of a scuffed stream to start our season, but it would not be a season opener if it wasn't a little scuffed around here, huh? Charlton, are you driving in the league? Do you have a favorite driver that you're rooting for? What brings you in here? Tell us a little bit about yourself. I know we are having some issues. We're having a lot of issues tonight, Charlton, and one of those is the game audio. We're on some issues with ACC TV as well. So this is a super scuffed stream tonight, but we're just going to have some fun for the season opener. A Goose fanboy, all right. Let's get in the choppers. We're going to take a look at Cooper Atherton as he works his way around the track. We got some Cooper bots in here, Charlton, that might disagree with you, so we will have to see. Yeah, Charlton, if you want to join our Discord, see if the command works. Join us on Discord. So a couple new faces that we'll see out there, a couple old faces. One of those is my old broadcast partner, Morgan Dino, has left the booth to go back to the grid as he is out there looking to make a name for himself in the gold division. Another rule we have here in qualifying for DRL is there is no overtaking unless the driver invalidates their lap, but you cannot take over off pure pace alone. As we watched Cooper Atherton just move beautifully across the track here. As we follow along with Kyle Hirsch here, who is rocking the BMW this season. The Hirsch brothers have been split up class-wise. We got Kyle in platinum and Daniel in gold. I know Daniel's taken a little bit of offense to being put in the slightly lower division and will be racing with something to prove here. So we get Kyle Hirsch work his way around the track. So far, we got Liam with the 135.495 as our top time of the circuit. Hermione's time is looking great over in the silver class, still in second place currently. We got Granito in the platinum division, only 3/10 behind Liam. We got Kyle Hirsch, we got Neil Kerbel, and then we got Daniel Hirsch, who is leading the golds right now in pole position. We have Cooper Atherton, and then we have Juan Lopez, who's put up a great time. We got Mari, who's about 1.2 seconds behind Liam. Then we got Professor Grunotis, Morgan Dino. As we work our way down a little bit more, we got Gavin Cook, who's put up to 15th place right now for the gold division as well. So our gold and platinum drivers have about 5 more minutes to put up the best time. I think we'll see, as we always do, the times improve lap over lap until we get an exciting finish here at the very end. Guys, feel free to give me a shout out if there's any drivers that you want to see featured on the screen. I do apologize about some of the issues we're having here, but like I said, we're going to have some fun. We follow along with Gav Cook here as he makes his way around the track. He has improved up from 15 to 8th with his last lap. And he's going to look to continue to find some time as he works his way through what is a pretty tricky track here at Zandvoort. Not one that too many drivers were super excited about. However, as it always works, our Patreon subscribers pick our first track of the season. It's one we haven't done in a long time. So, the drivers are on it, doing the best they can. All right, we got a request for Cooper Atherton. What a surprise. Let's ride along. Let's find Coop. There he is. Charlton, thanks. Like I said, it's a very scuffed stream. We usually have a couple of us in here, so love to have you in the booth with me. We will get this set up a little bit after the stream and talk with the other admins to get that all set up. But yeah, we'd love to have you in here. We do have a few of our drivers who were unable to race this season, who have raced previous seasons, that are interested in joining for a race or two. So we may have some guest commentary throughout the season, even some active drivers. I know the great and powerful Neil Kerbel has wanted to get out here for in the commentary booth for one of the races. So he will be joining us at some point as well in here. So we'll have a good time throughout this season, as we always do, as Cooper's going to continue to push the times. His last lap was a 140.6. He's about 4 seconds behind what is his best lap of the session so far, so he's probably going to look to push here. It's about 3 minutes left. He's going to have, probably about 2 laps more of qualifying to get through. Right along on the hood of Cooper Atherton. Well, maybe let's get inside the car with him to really feel what it's like to be Cooper. You know, just a little taste of greatness. That's right. We can feel the power level through the stream here. Unfortunately, if only you could hear it. Chef, the things he's saying about you right now are just, it's beautiful. I'm shedding a tear. I wish we had the game audio so you guys could hear it too. But, you know, to translate it for you, Coop's basically saying how much he loves you guys, and he's driving, feeling your energy and your power, and it's motivating him forward. So we're going to see him cross the start-finish line with a 137.1. So he is right now about half a second off his pace. He's going to be able to get around 1 or 2 more times. And with that, let's follow around with Neil here for a little bit. Neil was our champion last season. He's looking to defend his title as once again. See if he can become a back-to-back champion here at DRL. Arturas Hermanis also 1-0 as we see Neil take a little trip to the beach as he goes through the sand. No bother. It's all right. We're continuing. Arturas Hermanis, he won our Pro-Am division last season. So he is not here. And Damian Zawatsky, who is unable to make the first two races of the season, will look to come back. One of his two misses will count as a drop race for him, but he will have one DNF, so he's going to have some work to do to make up his places in the standings as he looks to defend his title. But we do have this new division here, our bronze division, which has a lot of new drivers here at DRL, which will be a very exciting division. We have Tarugo, who is a favorite. We have Alan Leung, who is not here at the moment, but he came in fourth place last season in the AM division. He is a two-time champion as well, who is another driver who is a favorite for the bronze division. And we also have a lot of new drivers who we're excited to see what they can bring to the table and if they can compete for a title. Right as we ride along with one of the two Hirsch brothers, Daniel Hirsch. Rocking a beautiful livery here. So qualifying is wrapping up. Liam does have the best time currently with a 134.7. Granito is finished as well, almost half a second behind him. We're riding along with Daniel Hirsch, who has put up a mega time, who's really feeling like he found himself in the wrong class and is looking to drive and prove a point. Arturas Hermanis has had a mega lap right now, who is up currently in fourth place as it stands. Neil Kerbel, a second behind Liam. We got Morgan Dino, who is finished currently in seventh place. Kyle Hirsch is in the pits, so he is finished as well in eighth place. Gavin Cook is finished in ninth place. Cooper Atherton is still on a lap. He can't do something still. His time is not up here. As we'll follow along, Group is going to be the last one to finish his lap here. As we got Professor Kronotis, who just crossed the line. And he was able to move up a little bit. He will finish in 11th place. We had Daniel Hirsch, who stayed in third place. Neil Kerbel pulled into the pit lanes, and Coop pulled into the pit lanes as well. So there you have it. We have finished our first qualifying session of the season. Again, I know we're dealing with some technical difficulties. We don't got the in-game sound. I am running some manual controls tonight, but we are going to make the best of a bad situation. All right, we're going to do a quick grid walk. We got Liam in pole position for the Platinums and overall. He is followed by Granito, car number 19 in second place. Next up, we have the pole position for the gold class, Daniel Hirsch. Fourth place, we have Arturas Hermanis, who is in pole position for the silver class. In fifth place, we have platinum driver Neil Kerbel, followed by gold driver Sam Bozak in, he is in second position for the gold class, followed by his teammate Morgan Dino, my old broadcast partner, who is in seventh place overall. It's going to be followed by Kyle Hirsch in eighth place, Gavin Cook in ninth place, Cooper Atherton in 10th place is going to look to make up some positions this race. Next, we got Professor Kronotis. We've got Juan Lopez. We've got Mari. See if we can get maybe a better shot of some of these cars. And we've got Tarugo. Then we've got Bradley Cooper. We've got Tyler Morgan. We've got John Malott, who is in second place in the bronze division behind Tarugo. We've got Creamy Von Cream, Iqbal Kuriwan, Will Sanchez. We got Bandit, and rounding out the grid, we got Satsara. So any drivers out on the grid, if you come back and watch this, feel free to send me a DM with correct ways to say your name that I work through one of these. I am not known for great pronunciation. All right, I know we got some Liam fans here. We got some Cooper Atherton fans here. Are we rooting for anyone else tonight? Do we got any predictions here in chat? Will Liam be able to continue to run away from it? The times that we have seen so far throughout the server, Liam has been dominant here. This has been his track with Goose Motorsports. For those of you that don't know, we do a full outlap before this race starts here. Drivers will be able to heat up their tires, get ready to go before they take off for a 45-minute race. We are required to do one pit stop during our race. We must take fuel, but we do not need to change tires. Last season, the meta was no tire changes. No one took tires. There was one or two strategies that most drivers took. As soon as the pit window opened, after 5 minutes, they immediately went into the pits, took their fuel, and continued on the rest of the race. The other side of it was to go as long as you could. The pit window closes with 5 minutes left in the race, so they would take it as close as they could. They'd add just a couple more liters of fuel and get out there and finish. Let's see if that meta continues this season as well. I am willing to bet that it's going to, because it just costs the least amount of time. It can be a little bit tricky if you're pitting in the middle of the race, because you come out into traffic. You want to try to find a clear way to get in and get out of the pit lanes. All right, Charlton's rooting for the Lexus also here. Yeah, we got a lot of new cars that have been added to the BOP for LFM, which is what we use as eligible cars. So that's Neil Kerbel, it looks like, who's out there in the Lexus. Neil and Liam are actually good friends too, Charlton, if you didn't know that. Neil was the one who got Liam into the league here. All right, we got a couple drivers talking about potential issues on the track connecting with the server. Let's see if we see a few more drivers pop in here. Tarugo is back in. Tarugo found himself disconnected. That is unfortunate because he had a great position. Cooper Atherton found himself disconnected as well. Creamy Von Cream got disconnected. So we have a lot of drivers that got disconnected. And that is tough for Cooper Atherton here, because he's moved from 10th place down to 21st place, and he's going to have to make his way through all the bronze and the silver class drivers. Unbelievable. Tarugo, he's going to be not too happy about that as well, because he's lost his pole position. Creamy Von Cream has not made his way back in either. And it looks like they have to actually even start from the pit lanes. We're going to ride along with Liam as we work our way around the track. This is kind of developing quite a few drivers here having some issues. This is tough for our drivers who have disconnected. I would not be happy if I were them moving to the pits. Tarugo Atherton and Creamy Von Cream, they're going to have to make up some places. But you know what? These are a couple diamonds, and diamonds are made under pressure. They're going to be feeling that pressure. As man, Granito is just right alongside Liam here. Give an old sniff of that tailpipe. So with DRL, all incidents are looked at by a group of stewards, and the stewards do take a very harsh stance on lap one penalties. They are a double penalty. So if it would be 10 seconds and it's lap one, it becomes 20 seconds. So you have to be very careful on lap one heroics making those dives. It can be a little crazy from the back of the grid as you're reacting to everyone else. But Granito looks like he wants to get that spot immediately from Liam. Liam, by far, has the best pace of all our drivers out here. We saw it throughout the week in the practice server, and we saw it in qualifying here. He's got it by about half a second on these drivers. So I think Granito knows that he's going to have to get in front of him right here going into these first turns, and then it's all about defense to try to hold him back as long as we can, as we work our way down the start straight and get ready for that flag to turn green for race one of season 8. It is green, and here we go as the drivers work their way down. We got Liam and we got Granito. Liam's got the inside corner, and he's got the position. He's going to be able to hold that as it looks to be a little bit chaotic in the back. And Liam's going to get through there pretty clean. I see a couple drivers going off in the distance. All in all, though, it looks to be pretty clean for Liam as he works his way through. We'll give it a minute for the timetable to update, but it looks like it all stayed pretty clean here as we work our way through the first couple turns. Not much that could have been done by Granito there. It was his best opportunity to work his way through, but it's hard being on the outside line there. That is not an easy spot to take on the outside, and he was not able to get that jump off the green. So it looks like Neil Kerbel was able to make his way up and get past Daniel Hirsch to be in third place currently, as he's going to start tracking down Granito. We got Daniel Hirsch, who is leading the gold still. He's got about a second and a half on Sam, the next gold driver. Artur Simonis, he's got a train behind him as he's got a lot of fast drivers who are going to look to make places on him. It's going to be a big decision here for Hermanis, who has 5 or so drivers in classes higher than his behind. Does he fight them, or does he look to strategically give them the places, not fight and not lose time? It's something that we always see and talk about throughout the season. We saw drivers potentially cost themselves titles by trying to fight drivers outside of their class and be unsuccessful. Sam Bozak is the driver behind him in the gold class, car number 5, the Sandbag Syndicator himself, as he's going to look to get past Hermanis. He's also going to be feeling the pressure of a Kyle Hirsch, one of the 2 Hirsch brothers, who is behind him. Kyle Hirsch was placed in the platinum class while his brother Daniel is in the gold class. So Kyle is racing to prove that he, in fact, was the one that belonged in platinum, while Daniel was the one who belonged in gold. And right now, he is not succeeding in showing that. So Kyle, you better pick up your pace. Behind him, we got Morgan Dino, who is looking to make a move on Kyle Hirsch. Morgan has taken the last couple seasons off to be in the broadcast booth here, and we are excited to see him back on track as he gets right behind Kyle Hirsch and looks to find an opportunity to make his move. As we say every single race, it is not easy to overtake in ACC. So there's going to be a few positions where you're going to be able to make a move. So he's going to have to stick behind until something can happen. He's got to be careful because he has 69 Gavin Cook himself right behind him as well. Lots of pressure going on here. Then we got a little bit of a break before we have our next silver driver, Bradley Cooper. Right behind him is Juan Lopez, who's putting the pressure on, and our gold driver, one of our new drivers, Nicholas Mari, who went a little bit wide there, but that's okay, as he looks to put the pressure on Lopez himself. as it looks like he did get past Lopez, and he's putting the pressure on Cooper right now. So as we see, overtakes can't get done. You got to find the opportunity. As we saw Professor Chronotis do a little shimmy throughout that corner as he clipped the grass. Professor Chronotis is going to look to get past Juan Lopez next. He's going to go a little bit wide here. That's okay. That's right on the line here for that turn. Followed by John Malott. John Malott qualified in second place for the bronze category, but after some connection issues, he has found himself ahead of Tarugo, who had to get teleported to the pits with an unfortunate connection issue. No, Tarugo's not too excited about that. Then we have Tyler Morgan. Tyler Morgan is a previous AM division champion who has found himself up in the silver class now, looking to make a name for himself. Behind him, we got Kuryawan. And we have Tarugo, who's made up a lot of places here from the pits. Tarugo is driving angry. He's going to be feeling that power which he has alongside of this car. As we see Cooper Atherton go right past him. Coop also had a very unfortunate situation being teleported from the pits, and he has a lot of places to make up here. We got Seth Sar right there. We saw him go a little bit wide as he's looking to continue his battle with Tarugo as well. We got Bandit a little bit farther back there. We got Creamy Von Cream as well. And we have Will Sanchez holding up the rear here. Pit window has officially opened, so our drivers can start to come in. We will see how the pit strategies will come into effect here. Let's get up to the front of our race with Liam. Liam is 2 seconds ahead Granito right now. So as we expected, Liam is running away from this with this race a little bit. We got Granito here as well. Like I said, about 2 seconds. He's got about 1 second to Neil Kerbel. So we got a little bit of spacing here. The drivers can finally breathe a little bit after what was a tense few laps. Let's take a look up and down our standings here. What do we have? Some close battles. It looks like Nicholas Mari is right there. Let's pop over with Nicholas Mari, who is 0.3 behind Bradley Cooper, and he's got Juan Lopez about half a second behind him. So this looks to be right now our closest battle besides Cooper Atherton closing on Iqbal. We ride inside the cockpit with Nicholas Mari here. You know, the one thing we are missing on this track, it's not updated for, is that big banking curve to finish the ends. Really missed that as we work our way down the main straight here, following along. I don't think we're quite close enough to make a move. Let's get back with Cooper Atherton here. Cooper Atherton makes his way down the straight. He got past Iqbal, and he is looking to make a move on Tyler Morgan. As we'll ride in the helicopter and look at the beautiful Cooper Atherton as he works his way around this track here. So great start for some of these drivers. Probably not an ideal start for some others. Liam was able to hold that first position lead, as we've talked about, and that is big for him. It's let him really use his pace to start to run away with this. Granito, he's finding himself holding second place here. Neil's closing that gap. It was a second. Now we're down to half a second. So we'll see if Neil can continue to close that gap. We got Daniel Hirsch, who is in fourth place. He is leading the gold division with Sam and Morgan just a few seconds behind him. So he's got a little bit of a comfortable lead here, and is probably not really feeling too much pressure. We got Gav Cook, who is a gold driver as well, who's a second behind Morgan. So still not really there as a threat. Arturas Hermanis, he's let some of these gold drivers through, whether strategically or not. But, man, let's get over with Bradley Cooper because he is right behind Hermanis here. As he's going to make to look a move here. As we work our way down the main straight. Hermanis is going to get a bit defensive here, keeping his car in the middle of the track. He's going to kind of move inside here as they make their way down to the first turn. Ooh, it looks like Hermanis has lost it. He spun a little bit, and this is going to open it up for Bradley Cooper to make a move. These guys are going to be neck and neck as they work through, and Bradley Cooper's going to just say, you hold that position for now. I will get it. But Nicholas Mari is right there as well, so Bradley Cooper's got to be careful because Nicholas Mari's also looking to make a move here. And that was some close wheel-to-wheel racing. I think Bradley might have been able to take that if he held it, but sometimes it's better to not crash. And to save a move, we still got 36 minutes left in this race, so a lot of time to see what Bradley Cooper can do. Work our way down and take a look at Juan Lopez. So it looks like we were watching Bradley Cooper and Nicholas Mari here, as Nicholas Mari was side by side with Bradley Cooper. Looks like my standings weren't updated all the way. That's all right. Still watched a great battle here. So we got Juan Lopez right behind them as well. The three of them really in a tight battle here, and they are still the closest battle of the race. Juan went a little wide into the sand there. It's okay. It doesn't look like we're going to get it on the straight here. Bradley should have enough room to hold that position. He gets a clean exit. Juan throws it down the inside. Looks for a good exit. But I think these guys are just going to carry on like this a little bit. Let's move up with Neil here. Neil is down to 0.4 of a second behind Granito. So Granito is going to start feeling this pressure from Neil, as Neil will wait, like all predators do, for the best time to strike their prey. Going to fill up those mirrors and try to make Granito make a mistake here. You can see him coming a little bit on the outside, making sure that he sees the Lexus, the Kerbal himself right in his rear. Put a little pressure on him. Maybe he takes that turn a little too fast. Maybe misses his braking point by just a little because he's distracted. And that's going to open up all the room that Neil needs. They're going to make their way here through the final couple turns of the track. And Neil will see if he can make a move down into that main straight, get something to stick. And Neil's thinking about it, but it's just not there yet. He did get a better exit through that first turn, and he's still right behind him. But what is his best opportunity? As Neil is just right there, basically giving him a bump draft through that turn almost. We're going to follow along in the cockpit of Neil. So we see him just keeping that pressure up. That's all you can do. Hope for a mistake. Is he going to look to make a move here? He puts a little pressure. Is he going to get it to stick? No, he's not. So you can definitely see the heart rate go up a little bit there as he threw that on the inside. Definitely thinking about it. So it looks like while we've been talking here, we've had two drivers serve their pits. Professor Kronotis of the Gold class has taken a pit stop early, and Kyle Hirsch has taken an early pit stop as well. So we'll see how that ends up playing out for them, as Neil's going to throw it down the inside here. As they work their way through the final turn, Neil was able to get the inside line. He's able to get the better line, and he got ahead of Granito. So the pressure has paid off that Neil has put on Granito, and he is going to hold it through these first couple turns. And Neil finds himself in second place, only 7.5 seconds behind Liam. So he definitely has some time to make up if he wants to catch a goose today. All right, let's make our way back down the track. So I see Nicholas Mari has got ahead of Bradley Cooper while we were watching that other battle. Bradley Cooper has Cooper Atherton, a Cooper v. Cooper going on right here as Cooper Atherton continues his great recovery drive, working his way up. See when Cooper finds a good opportunity to get past Bradley. We see car 77, Iqbal Kearney on one, move into the pits as Cooper Atherton is going to throw his car on the inside, and whether he just made that move on his own or Bradley Cooper found an opportune moment to let him through, it doesn't matter because Cooper Atherton has taken down another driver as he continues his recovery drive. He has made his way up to 10th place now, as he looks to knock down Nicholas Mari next, and then Arturas Hermanis. Arturas Hermanis is in the silver category as he has Nicholas Mari from the gold class right behind him as they're going to make their ways down towards the start straight. Bradley Cooper, who just was overtaken by Cooper Atherton, is the next silver driver. So Hermanis has about a second and a half to the next silver driver. So he probably doesn't want to lose too much time fighting with gold class drivers, as Nicholas Mari is going to look to make a move here, and he is not going to be able to get that to stick. And we're going to continue to follow along with this part of the race here, as this is the closest section. Kind of watching Nicholas Mari, see what he can do as he puts pressure on Arturas, while Cooper Atherton behind him is putting pressure on him. Coop is closing that gap slowly but surely, doing what Coop does. Outside of that, Neil has put up over half a second now, up to 0.8 of a second on Granito. So Kerbel's pace is going as he's looking to slowly chip away at that 7-second lead by Liam. Tyler Morgan is about a second behind John Malott from the bronze class. But outside of that, drivers are pretty much set in positions. Tarugo's made up a lot of places too, looking at the charts. He's 0.8 as Cooper Atherton is going to move on the inside of Nicholas Mari. He goes a little bit wide, but he's going to be able to keep that on track, and that is an overtake for Cooper Atherton. No, Cooper Atherton's going to run a little wide. Nicholas Mari is right there. Cooper's going to keep the pressure on. Nicholas Mari's going to look to feint the inside, but that's not going to stick. It's never going to stick on Cooper Atherton, and Cooper Atherton is going to make that move complete. What a move and battle there between Nicholas Mari and Cooper Atherton, as these drivers show the immense skill and car control that they have on track. Cooper Atherton is looking to get Arturas Hermanis now, who is the next on his hit list on this great recovery drive by Cooper Atherton. What a return to DRL for Coop, huh, guys? You could tell Nicholas was not too happy about that move, although I don't know if any of us are ever happy about being overtaken, but he's going to look to keep that pressure on these two drivers and see if he can take that right back from Cooper Atherton if he gets stuck behind Arturas for too long. But I think we're going to see a move right up here in a second from Cooper Atherton. He's keeping on the inside here. This is where he's made a few overtakes. Arturas is not going to fight it too much. He's going to let Atherton through, and Atherton is going to carry on as he looks at Gavin Cook as his next victim. But we're still here with Nicholas Mari. Cooper Atherton has found his way through, but Nicholas Mari has not found his way through yet, as he's going to look to try to get past Arturas Hermanis so he can continue his drive. So as we follow along and see what Nicholas Mari can do coming down the main straight here, it looks like he's got a good run here. Is he going to throw it down to the inside? I don't think so. Just not quite enough down to this turn one. He's going to run a little bit wide with it, kind of make a switchback style move, but it's not really going to stick here. Looks like Will Sanchez right above these guys has gone off track, and he has teleported back to the pits to get out of the way. Yeah, it seems this turn one is not a great opportunity for overtaking here down this main straight. We haven't really seen too many drivers thrown in, but some of these sweeping long turns, some of the drivers, especially Cooper Atherton, has thrown it in on the inside. Throwing it down on the inside and able to squeeze his car in on the inside while the other cars run a little bit wider, and that's worked out well for him. So let's catch our breath here for a second and run through the leaderboard. Liam is over 8 seconds ahead of Neil Kerbel, so he has a pretty dominating lead here, and that continues to expand out. Granito is 1.1 seconds behind Neil Kerbel. Sorry, watching Nicholas see if he makes any type of move here as they kind of work their way through this chicane towards the back end of the track. And he is there, but he's not going to have enough. Arturis is going to throw that car back on the inside on him and say, not today. So we got Daniel Hirsch, the gold class, 8.2 seconds behind Granito. Sam Bozak is about 0.8 of a second behind Daniel Hirsch. So Sam might be looking to make some type of move here. Followed by Morgan Dino, who is 1.8 seconds behind teammate Sam Bozak. As I said, it was move making here. Arturis Hermanis and Nicholas Murray are side by side nearly there. Very elbows out defense moves by Hermanis, as he really said to car 714, not today, Rook. Gav Cook is 2.8 seconds behind Morgan Dino, and Cooper Atherton, who's doing a great recovery drive after being disconnected, is 7 seconds behind Gav Cook, so he's going to look to trim that time. Arturis Hermanis is behind him. He is now 4.2 seconds, and he has Nicholas Maury 0.3 behind him, who Nicholas Maury is really putting the pressure on him right now as he's going to throw it on the inside. This is where we've seen Coop make the passes, and is Nicholas going to be able to get this to stick? I think he might. No, Arturis is going to hold this. They're going to be side by side. And Nicholas Maury is finally able to get past Arturis Hermanis. What a move. That is a spot that we've seen a lot of moves. The best overtaking move on the track, so it seems. What a great battle we've been treated to over the last 10 laps or so between these two. Absolutely fantastic, clean racing between them. Hard defensive racing. You love to see it. But Nicholas Maury is finally free to go chase down Cooper Atherton, Gavin Cook, Morgan Dino, Sam Bozak, and Daniel Hirsch. Behind Hermanis, we have a great drive by John Malott. He is leading the bronze class right now in 11th overall. 8 seconds behind him is, maybe not 8 seconds behind him, but behind him is Tyler Morgan. Our timetable has not updated. Yes, Tyler Morgan is 8.6 seconds behind John Malott, and Bradley Cooper is behind him by 7 seconds. Tarugo's not too far behind Bradley Cooper as well, as he looks to continue to shed places to get back to where he was. We have Professor Chronotis, who's 2.8 seconds behind Tarugo, but Professor Chronotis has taken his pit stop. We see Creamy Von Kreen behind him, 3.8 seconds. Kyle Hirsch, who has taken his pit stop as well, 5.3 seconds behind, so he hasn't quite caught up to some of these slower pace drivers compared to him. We got Seth Sara, who is a few laps now back from the bronze class. We got Juan Lopez behind. He's in the pit lanes. It looks like no, Juan Lopez is out. Juan Lopez has taken his pit. Sorry, Satsara is in the pit lanes. He's taking his pits. As we see Bandit. Bandit has a stop-go 30-second penalty. That is probably for speeding in the pits. We see 91. Bradley Cooper is off the track right now. Let's see if we can work our way over to him. As he is slowly making his way back onto track. Not sure what happened there, but something happened and he has fallen back a little bit. I see Gav Cook has made his way into the pit lane. As he is taking his stop here. We'll see where Gav Cook falls out in this group of people. So unfortunate for Bandit coming in and having a stop go 30. My guess is speeding in the pit lanes. That's usually where that penalty will come from. Tarugo is pulling in and he is making his stop. So a little bit strange here to see drivers coming in with as much time left in the race as we still have, but maybe they're looking for some type of undercut strategy. Trugo might be feeling like he's got a little bit of a gap. Maybe he doesn't want to fight Kyle Hirsch, and behind Kyle Hirsch, there's not too much going on, so Kyle will come through. He can file in behind Kyle, and he can continue on a good recovery drive. As Liam is 9.3 seconds ahead right now, so Liam is just really running away with this. So you see Gav Cook has come out behind Tyler Morgan, who is looking to see what he can do. Right now, Tyler Morgan is in second place in the silver class. Juan Lopez behind him is the only silver class driver who is, Iqbal Kuryanwan has also pit as well. So we have two silver drivers who have pit. Tyler Morgan is not one of them. Interesting to see always what Tyler does with his pit strategies. He was very successful pitting very early on in the races and going from there. He seemed to deviate from that a little bit as we see Bradley Cooper is off the track again. And what happened? Has Bradley Cooper left the server? I think Bradley left the server, so something must have happened, and Cooper said that's it. Bradley Cooper, that is, said that's enough for tonight as we look at Tyler Morgan continuing to make his way down through these first couple turns of the track. Let's get over and follow along with Sam. Sam is right behind Daniel Hirsch now as he's kind of made his way through here, and he's got Morgan Dino right behind him. So nothing like having a couple sandbag syndicates right behind you, huh? I know Daniel is absolutely feeling that pressure right now. So these guys just made their way through what is the best overtaking opportunities of this track. I don't think we're going to see Sam throw it down. It doesn't look like he's quite close enough, even though he's only 2/10 behind him, with Morgan 3/10 behind him. I just don't think they're going to be able to close it. They might feint to move inside, but there's just not that room to make that overtake right now. Nope, as expected, you're just going to keep the pressure on him. As we see, Bandit from the bronze class is disqualified. It looks like he is probably disqualified for speeding once again in the pit lanes. That's so unfortunate. The pit lanes are so tricky, especially if you're a new driver to ACC, which we have a lot of new drivers to ACC, and that just goes for our community. If you're someone who wants to get into league driving and never has, or you're new to sim racing, you are welcome here. We got a beautiful bronze class just for you so you can learn the ropes and get faster and faster. And before you know it, you will find yourself leading the platinum class by over 10 seconds like Liam the Goose. So we're going to start to work our way into the good overtaking turns of this track here. Sam is close enough to try to look to make a move inside right here. This is where we've seen it done a few times. He's not going to look to do it here, but they're going to run their way down to the chicane. We've seen drivers make the move there. In fact, that's where we saw Nicholas Mari make a move stick on Arturas Hermanis, getting a better exit throughout this chicane. Will Sam be able to do it? He's closing it. He's closing it, but he does not have enough. And there's not much Morgan can do behind him as well, as he's just kind of stuck back there waiting for his teammate to do something. At what point will the sandbaggers give team orders for swap? I don't think it'll happen, but we got a right to dream, don't we? As Morgan's going to pull into the pits, he's going to say, not much can happen here. I'm pulling into the pits. I'm going to get this pit stop done, see if I can undercut some of these guys throughout this gap. As Sam continues to keep the pressure here on Daniel Hirsch, who is just absorbing this pressure like SpongeBob SquarePants himself. So we've got about half the grid that has pit so far. Gavin Cook has pit. Professor Chronotis has pit and made up a lot of places. Nicholas Mari came into the pits. Kyle Hirsch is coming to the pits. John Malott. Tarugo as well, who's 10 seconds behind Malott. 10 seconds to make up over almost 16 and a half minutes left of race time. Tarugo, it would be a great drive for him. Either way, I'm sure he's happy with the place that he's found himself in. Juan Lopez, he has pit as well. Creamy Von Cream has pit, and Iqbal Kurionwan has pit as well. So about half the drivers have pit. A lot of our leaders have waited to go. We got Granito down in 18th place right now. I'm not sure what happened there. I'm just realizing this, that he's moved down. It also looks like he has not successfully taken his pit stop. So I don't know if he pulled in the pits or what. It doesn't say that he is in the pit lane. It says he's out on track somewhere. Let's pop over and see if we can find him. So Granito is out on track. I am not sure what happened with Granito. If anyone in chat happened to spot something at some point or has any idea what happened, let us know. We would love to hear because we missed it watching some of these other battles. So I'm not sure if we had an unsuccessful pit stop or what exactly has happened to find ourselves 2 laps down. Something happened with Bradley Cooper, maybe with an overtake. Some type of contact was made between these drivers, but unfortunate for Granito to find himself down in 18th place and last place of all our current drivers. And Liam has pulled into the pit lane, so let's move back up with our leaders here. Liam has pulled into the pits, and he's taking his pit stop. Sam has moved into the pit stop. He's taking his pit as well. We have about 10 minutes or so left for pit stops. We only have 4 drivers: Neil Kerbel, Daniel Hirsch, Cooper Atherton, and Artur Hermanis, who have not taken pit stops yet. So we will see them take a pit stop in the next 9 minutes or so, or they will get disqualified from the race. Just kind of looking at the times here, I don't think Liam will have any issues getting back. He was up by so far. But where will this play out for Morgan? Morgan actually wound up ahead of Sam. So his quote-unquote undercut has quote-unquote worked here for Morgan, who find himself ahead of his teammate Sam. Will this undercut strategy work for both of them to get ahead of Daniel Hirsch right now, who is in second place overall and is leading the gold division? So let's keep an eye on these drivers and see when do they pull into the pits and how does this recovery drive work for them? I think if you would ask Morgan and Sam, they would be very happy with how they've ended up. Sam did a few races last season, but it has been quite a few seasons since Morgan has found himself in a GT3 here in ACC. So I think he's got to be very happy with this. I believe he is currently in a net 3rd place for the total overall standings and currently in 2nd place for the gold classes. He looks to continue to chip away the time on Daniel Hirsch. No other real close battles here that I can see off the timetables. Everyone is kind of settled into their position, as we see tend to happen throughout the races. Cooper Atherton is continuing to try and close that gap, but he's going to have to get himself into pit lanes relatively quick here. Artur Hermanis has waited to pit as well. So we got about 4 of these guys who have really deployed the strategy of waiting until the last minute to pit. I think it seems to have paid off. Neil Kerbel has pulled into the pits, so that's one more who's going to be down. Let's see where he comes out relative to some of these other drivers. Liam will definitely be ahead of him. Will Cooper be ahead of him? And how far ahead will Cooper have? All right, as we see our leaderboard kind of update a little bit here. So Cooper Atherton has got ahead of Neil Kerbel here through his pit stop. Kerbel is 7 seconds behind Cooper Atherton, so Cooper Atherton's going to have to need to make up some time. He's going to need to press down on that gas and forget about those brakes, as he's going to need to continue to increase that gap if he wants to make up that place on Neil. Even still, as things stands, he will find himself in third place overall in the Platinum class. I think Coop will be pretty happy with that, starting from last place overall. An amazing recovery drive, as we see Morgan and Sam really throwing their cars around as they look to capture every second, every tenth of a second, hundredth and thousandth of a second that they can possibly find on this track, as they continue to push to try to close that gap more and more to Daniel Hirsch. He has 6 minutes left to take his pit stop, and we will see how he comes out in comparison to Morgan and Sam. Hermanis has also not taken his pit stop as well. He has quite a gap to Tyler Morgan, who is in second place overall for the silver class. So Hermanis doesn't really have much to deal with here. He probably just wants to find the best opportunity to pull in the pit lane and come out with as little issues as possible to continue on to a victory lap here for the opening race of the season. But the gold class is where the battle is really at. We're looking also here at Tarugo and Malott. Tarugo is about 5 seconds behind Malott right now, so he's continuing to close that gap. With 10 minutes left, he's got to find a little bit more pace if he really wants to completely close that gap on John Malott, who is looking at potentially, I believe, would be a first race victory for him here in DRL. It's right along with Daniel Hirsch here. So Liam has got right behind him here. So we'll see, what does Daniel Hirsch do? You know, you're going to battle with Liam here, who really, I mean, he's got the fastest lap and the fastest time by a lot. You start to battle with him too much, you're going to lose time, and every little bit of time is going to matter here. I mean, when Sam and Morgan pulled into the pits, we're talking about 2/10, 3/10 behind Daniel Hirsch. So he has really no time to give up. As Daniel Hirsch is going to move into the pits, he's not going to fight Liam. Where is he going to come out relative to Morgan and Sam? Will Daniel be able to hold his first place title? As it looks like he's got Cooper Atherton, who's pulled in right behind him. So we got two drivers taking pit stops now. Let's follow along with Morgan and see where Morgan comes out as he's working his way through the back sections of the track right now. This is going to be a short stop for both Daniel and Cooper Atherton as they're taking just a few liters. This might be 2 seconds, 3 seconds that they're in their pit box before they're moving out. Daniel is moving out of the pit box slowly but surely right now as Morgan and Sam make their way down the main straight. Where will he come out? Will he be able to hold that position? This is going to be close with Cooper Atherton right behind them as well. And Cooper Atherton is ahead of Morgan, and Daniel Hirsch has held his position in front of Morgan as well. It has worked out for Team Hirsch and Daniel Hirsch, and he's going to be able to hold that position. It has worked out great for Cooper Atherton now, who he's going to be able to chase down Neil Kerbel. I don't think he's going to have enough time to close that gap that is to Neil Kerbel, but he's been able to make up that place on Morgan and Sam. Fourth overall in the standings, second place in Platinum. He's only 1.5 seconds behind Daniel Hirsch as he's going to look to catch that final spot on the podium. Daniel Hirsch being 18 seconds behind Neil Kerbel. I just don't think even the great Cooper Atherton is going to be able to close that gap with only 8 minutes worth of race time to go. With that, we've had all our drivers take their pit stops. 3 minutes left in the pit window, but that doesn't matter. We got 8 minutes, 7 minutes and 45 seconds, that is, until we get to the finish of this race. And let's see where these drivers are able to do. Can Morgan find some time? Can Cooper Atherton put pressure on Daniel Hirsch and open up a gap for Morgan or Sam to work their way through? Let's follow along with Cooper Atherton and see what he's able to do here. Right along in the helicopter here. As we kind of keep an eye on the timetables here, Tarugo is down to 3.5 seconds on John Malott. If he continues to close that gap, we will pop over and watch Tarugo and John Malott continue to battle it out for first place of the gold division as the timetables just update, and it's down to 3 seconds now. I've said this a lot of times, but what a drive by Cooper Atherton. Coming down from last place, and even Tarugo. Tarugo was also a driver that got dropped down to the very end, and he's worked his way up. Creamy Von Cream has done a great job of staying in this race as well. It's not easy when you have a great qualifying session, and then you just get essentially nerfed by being disconnected. As we see Daniel Hirsch slide up, Daniel Hirsch is going to crash into the wall. Unbelievable. With 6 minutes left in the race, Morgan is going to close this gap on him here now. He's going to look to make a move. What kind of damage did Daniel get, and how is that going to affect him? I cannot believe that we just saw that. Morgan is right there. Morgan's going to look to make the move here. How is Daniel going to be able to defend this? How much damage does he have as he slid out on that track? You know that heart rate just spiked. 180 beats per minute. This guy's running a marathon in his sim rig right now. Sam's sticking back a little bit. He's not in this too much, but you know that Morgan's smelling blood, a shark in the water. The tires are cooked for all these drivers. 40 minutes of hard racing that they've put on. Daniel seems to have steadied himself a little bit, but what is Morgan going to be able to do here as they're going to work their way down the main straight? Morgan's going to run wide, and Morgan's going to hit the wall. I don't think that's what Morgan intended to do there as he tried to get a good exit. That's going to give Daniel a little bit of breathing room, who he almost runs to the back of Cooper Atherton going a little wide. Morgan's going to keep his nose on the inside, and Morgan is right there again, but Sam's been able to close it. Of these three drivers battling it out, Sam is the only one without potential damage right now. The only one who hasn't slid down and hit a wall. What point is Sam going to do it to follow the pattern, or is Sam just going to pass these other two drivers? The pit window is officially closed. All the drivers have taken their pit lanes, so that is good. But what an exciting race we have going on here as we're going to continue to follow along with these three drivers. Tarugo is down to 1.2 seconds, so we may pop over and see if Tarugo can make a move in a minute here. But Juan Lopez is also only half a second behind Tarugo, so that's an interesting three-way battle. It looks like this battle here between Daniel Hirsch and Morgan has kind of settled itself back down. Daniel, a little squirrely on the exit there. That might open up something for Morgan if he can find himself to sneak on the inside. Daniel's going to defend the inside very well as they're going to make their way down to the chicane. We've seen some great overtakes there by the likes of Cooper Atherton throwing their car on the inside. His cars have naturally ran a little bit wide as Morgan is right there. Will do anything he can. He's going to hope to stay out of the wall as he works his way through these final turns here. Tarugo is down to half a second on John Malott. We got to go give our bronze guys a little bit of love here. As we see Tarugo and Malott here in a battle for bronze. Who wants first place? Who's going to be able to take it? As Tarugo looks to have great pace, he's just got to find that opportunity to overtake. And he's got Juan Lopez right behind. And there is also Granito, who is right behind them as well, looking to make moves. So a very interesting mix of different class drivers going on right now. As Tarugo's going to run a little wide, and it looks like Lopez is going to be right there. With 3 minutes left in the race, I don't think Tarugo wants to let Lopez through. They're going to work their way to the chicane. This is definitely going to be costing Tarugo time as they're going to just bump doors a little bit. Tarugo's not going to fight that any harder than he has to, as he is going to, Juan Lopez is going to get by him, and that's going to be an interesting wrinkle in this race. But if Tarugo can sit behind Juan Lopez and he puts the pressure on Malott may try not to fight with him too much. We also have Granito, who's right behind them as well. Let's get back over right now to the Morgan, Sam, and Daniel battle. As Morgan is still there, 2.5 minutes left to go. We got probably 3 more laps or so here. And this is going to be 3 laps of pressure for all these drivers. Can Morgan get a run down the main straight? We haven't really been able to see drivers do it yet so far. It does not look like he's close enough. He's not going to have a move into turn 1 unless Daniel runs a little wide. He is going to feint inside, just make Daniel think a little bit. Get in his head and remind him that he's got a couple sandbaggers behind him. But Sam is right there. Sam looks like he might make a move on Morgan. No team orders here. This is not McLaren. We're not walking with papaya rules. We're not letting anyone through. This is cutthroat DRL racing right here. As Daniel is continuing to absorb this pressure, made a little mistake, but he was able to hold on to it. All in all, he's able to hold that position. I don't know if he's driving with any damage, but his tires look absolutely cooked. You just see the squirreliness as they're coming out of these turns. Just giving it absolutely everything they can. All right, so the leader is on the final lap here. So we are running out of time. Will anyone make a heroic dive down to try to make that place, or will they just say this has been good enough? But what a battle for the gold division. We see Liam still holding first place. Neil's 15 seconds behind him, so Liam hasn't had too much battle. As we're going to see Morgan go up on the sand a little bit, that's going to slow him down and open up Sam to maybe look to do something. But it looks like with that little tip of a wheel into the sand, that is all for Morgan. Let's try to get over with Tarugo. Tarugo is right there. He's back neck and neck with John Malott, but he does have Granito right behind him. I don't know how much Granito wants to get into the mix of this, but this is running out of time for Tarugo if he's going to look to make up a place on John Malott. Juan Lopez was able to get by. And man, is Tarugo going to be able to? He's going to try to keep that car tight to the inside as they're going to work their way down to the final chicane here. Granito thinking about it, but respecting the battle going on in front of him, it looks like. This is it. Tarugo got great traction out of the chicane. Is he going to be able to make a move? I know he's thinking about it. He puts his car on the inside. He's going to make Malott think about it a little bit. They are right there. The leader has finished the race, so this is it for these guys. If Malott can hold it, this is going to be a drag race to the finish. And Malott's going to be able just to hold on to it. Just barely, by 1/10 of a second. Malott is able to get a huge victory for him. What a race between these guys. We see Liam's done. We see Neil Kerbel's done. Cooper Atherton's getting in third place. Let's get over and watch what Morgan's going to do here. Is Morgan going to be able to make a move as they work their way through the final turn here? We got another drag race to the finish line, but Morgan ran a little bit wide, and he's not going to be able to really contend for that. Not quite as close. What a race for Daniel Hirsch, holding on to it. 4th overall, Morgan 5th overall, 2nd place in gold, 1st place in gold division for Daniel Hirsch as well. Sam comes in 3rd place in the gold division. Team Sandbag Syndicate, what a finish for them. 2nd and 3rd in gold division. What a return to the grid. But Daniel Hirsch, how about that? As he's going to finish 4th overall, show everyone that he is a force to be reckoned with in the gold division. Cooper from pit and penalty to podium. What a race for Cooper Atherton as he's made his way all the way back up the grid. Are you not entertained? That is what I'm saying, Chef. Let's see, where else are we at? We got Gav Cook, who finished 7th. We got Professor Kronotis. Kyle Hirsch, who's in 9th. Arturas Hermanis has led the silver division with a victory. Tyler Morgan in 2nd place. Juan Lopez in 3rd place. John Malott got a huge victory. 1st place. Tarugo, 2nd place. A great battle between them. Creamy Von Cream, welcome to DRL as you find yourself on the 3rd step of the podium. Iqbal Kurianwa is going to finish in 17th, and Granito, something obviously happens there. Bradley Cooper and Will Sanchez and a few of these other guys did not finish the race. Satsara, Bandit were disqualified from the race at all. What a race. I'm going to catch my breath here for a minute as we're going to see if there's anyone who is interested in being interviewed here. Hopefully we don't run into issues with these interviews as we've had some audio issues this time. But give me a minute. Let me catch my breath here and we will see who is in the green room for an interview.
The engine fire in our veins in the DRL. We break the chains.
Let's see if we get this working here. We are having issues with ACC. So we are going to. What are we going to do here? We are going to. We're just going to stick with this and let's get some interviews going on. Because we're having some issues. First off, let's get Daniel Hirsch in here. Daniel, how's it going? Daniel, how's it going? Daniel, give me. It is going okay here. Say something for me because I've been having some issues on stream and I don't know if Discord is picking you up. So can you say something here? Well, it is not. Give me 1 second here. Sorry, we've had a super scuffed stream here. Well, Daniel, we cannot hear you on stream. I don't know what's going on with the audio and OBS here. No, no, I don't know why it's not. I don't know what's going on with OBS right now, but the stream cannot hear you. So I'm just going to talk to you and tell you that was a hell of a race, dude. We really enjoyed the battle. Crazy finish there, coming down when you slid out and hit the wall. Had all of us on the edge of our seats. I don't know if you took damage or not, but it was really exciting to watch. Congratulations on a huge win in the gold class. And yeah, I'm going to drop you over back to the green room. If you could just let the guys know that we're having some issues with the interviewing and that we're going to skip the interviews today and figure out what is going on here and get back to them next week. But great job tonight, Daniel. It was really exciting to watch your race out there. Yeah, Sam, I was looking at it. I mean, I have it in here. It's not coming up as my audio options. I have no idea what's going on with it. I had it working this afternoon when I kind of went through and tested everything, and some of the options aren't coming back up. I restarted the computer. I've restarted everything, but I'm kind of having issues up and down. ACC TV is not loading up for me. So I don't know what's going on with this, but I will play with it this week and I will make sure that we are up and running for next week to have a beautiful, crisp stream going on. But all in all, I thought this was pretty fun tonight. We had a great race. It was still exciting to watch. A great battle between Daniel Hirsch, between Morgan, between Sam. We saw Tarugo battling out with Milan as they had a photo finish down the main straight. And of course, we watched Liam run away with it. An exciting start to the race. All in all, we saw some great battles. And this was a great start to what is going to be a great season for season 8 here at DRL.